Let's talk about something we all deal with: difficult conversations. You know, the ones where things just spiral out of control. Well, today we're going to dive into a pretty fascinating framework called Buildonology. It's a whole system designed to bring some much needed structure and clarity to even the most heated debates. All right, let's be real. Have you ever walked away from an argument feeling completely wiped out? Like you just ran a mental marathon, but you ended up right back where you started? It's that feeling of just spinning your wheels, right? Well, that exact feeling is what this whole framework is designed to stop. So, what's the big idea here? The source material puts it pretty clearly. The goal of Buildonology is to capture what it calls, and get ready for it, structural informationology. That's just the actual substance of an argument. And at the same time, it filters out the provocationology, all the emotional noise and the bait. Yeah, the names are a bit of a mouthful, I know, but the concept itself is actually super simple. Find the signal and just ditch the drama. I mean, think of it like this. Every single conversation has a signal and a ton of noise. The signal? That's the core idea, the logic, the actual point someone is trying to make. And the noise? Well, that's everything else. The frustration, the ego, all the little attempts to get a rise out of you. This framework is basically a toolkit to help you tune into that signal and let all that other static just fade away. Okay, so before we get to the practical tools, the how-to part, we've got to get the mindset right. The entire system really rests on three core principles that honestly can fundamentally change how you walk into any debate or discussion. First up is what the framework calls energy conservation phrenology. And this one is absolutely crucial. It's the simple idea of treating your mental energy like a battery. It's a finite resource. So if a conversation is just draining that battery with no real progress, like that family group chat that always goes completely off the rails, you have full permission to unplug. Your focus is valuable. And that leads us right into the second principle: selective engagement phonology. Long name, simple concept. You are the gatekeeper. You get to decide which conversations are actually worth your time and your energy. You are never, ever obligated to engage just because somebody tries to pull you into an argument. It's your choice, not a requirement. And the third principle is where the action happens: structural extractionology. From now on, your job in any exchange is to be a kind of detective, always looking for the signal. Your goal is to find the logic, find the core claim, and file that information away. And everything else, all that noise, you simply notice it, and then you let it go. You don't have to carry it with you. Okay, so that's the mindset. Pretty powerful stuff, right? But how do you actually use this in the heat of the moment? That's where the toolkit comes in. It's called the Live Debate Filter Protocol, and it's basically your guide for analyzing stuff in real time. Now, this process is so elegantly simple, but it is incredibly powerful. It's a 4-step mental filter. So as someone's making a point, you just quietly run it through these steps. 1, what is their core claim, really? 2, what's the underlying assumption it's built on? 3, does the logic actually hold up from point A to point B? And finally, 4, what's their intention here? Are they trying to build understanding, or are they just trying to score points? To make this even clearer, the framework separates things into 2 channels. Think of it as a green channel and a red channel. The green channel is the signal, the constructive stuff you should engage with, the actual argument, any evidence, requests for clarification. The red channel, though, that's all the noise you should learn to discard. The personal attacks, the emotional bait, those frustrating arguments that just go around and around in circles. And here's the really crucial point. When you focus your energy exclusively on that green channel, you're not just, surviving an argument. You're actually building knowledge. The framework has a great name for this outcome: knowledge-onology. The whole point is to walk away smarter, not just more tired. If you only take one single thing away from this whole explainer, please let it be this golden rule. This is the very heart of the framework. If structure exists, respond to the structure. If provocation appears, do not feed the cycle. It's a simple command, but it can be absolutely revolutionary in your daily interactions. So all of this leads us to a really key part of the framework, the end game. Because in this system, the goal isn't to win, not in the way we usually think about it. It's about completely redefining what winning even means by mastering the art of the exit. So when do you actually leave a conversation? It's not when the other person gives up. It's not when you get the last word. You exit when you achieve what the framework calls internal completeness. This is that moment of clarity where you realize, okay, I fully understand the structure of their argument. I've gotten all the useful signal I'm going to get, and you simply don't need anything more from the exchange. And the result of this? It's this profound sense of freedom. I'm talking freedom from feeling like you have to get the last word in, freedom from needing the other person to agree with you, and maybe the best part, freedom from carrying all that negative emotional baggage around for the rest of your day. Now, this is not weakness. This is not giving up. The source document calls this intentional, clear-minded decision to disengage an act of power-onology. It is the ultimate power to decide for yourself when an exchange is truly complete. So, let's bring this home. How does all this translate to the real world? Well, it's all about application. And the ultimate takeaway here, which is reclaiming your cognitive sovereignty. That's your ownership over your own mental and emotional space. And the framework makes a really smart distinction. In a one-to-one conversation, say with a friend or a coworker, you'd apply these principles with a lot of emotional precision and nuance. But in a one-to-many arena, like a wild social media thread, you need strict, almost ruthless structural discipline to avoid just getting drowned in all that noise. But here's the thing. In either scenario, the governing principle is what the framework calls autonomyology. It just means you are autonomous. You are in control. You're in the driver's seat. You get to dictate the duration and the intensity of your engagement, and you decide when it's over. And the result of all this, of using the principles, the filter, the art of the exit, is that you walk away with your cognitive sovereignty completely intact. Your mental space is your own again, protected and preserved. So, I'll leave you with this question, and it comes from the very heart of this framework. Now that you have the tools to see the difference between structure and provocation, between signal and noise, whose cycle will you stop feeding?